Good evening, everybody, and welcome to your Tuesday evening Facebook Live. My name is Sarah Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you guys live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 to show you a fun new project. So hopefully you guys have had a great day. We had an amazing day. I didn't get out into my craft room only to do the Facebook Live. We had Lucas again today. His mommy's not feeling good. So we have had 2 magnificent days spoiling a little baby. He actually spent the night last night, and I slept in the room he sleeps in just in case he wakes up in the middle of the night and isn't quite sure where he's at. Somebody's always there with him. And I woke up not knowing where I was at. I was like, oh my gosh, where am I? But it was all good, and he had a great time. Bo actually took him home a little bit ago, and I called and I was like, does he miss Mimi? And no, he was off playing with all of his toys and bouncing on his mom. But I definitely miss him. But that was my day. Hopefully you guys had a good day. I did get some retreat stuff done while he took a 3-hour nap, which was spectacular. I usually nap with him, but I didn't today. So I got some retreat stuff done, and yeah, it has just been a crazy day with the pre-order and the sale that's going on. It is just a magnificent day. So good evening, Heather and Marie. Welcome. So today's card is using some designer series paper that is actually going to be retiring, and I'm so sad because I was supposed to do this month's class to go on it, and with everything craziness happening in my life, I have not had a chance to send out the email or even, it's designed, but I haven't been able to really do anything else with it. So hopefully I can get it done before it retires, and you guys will be able to get the beautiful paper in your hot little hands. It is called the Regency Park. Hold on. I literally just had it, and it is Regency Park Designer Series paper. It is so beautiful. If you guys have not played with it yet, I definitely highly recommend getting it. So yes, Marie, I transfer my live to YouTube after I get done with my live. I was doing the live stream through both of them, and I'm not the smartest with algorithms and all of that stuff, but something was happening with the algorithms where it suggested that I do my Facebook Live and then I transfer it to YouTube. And I used to get emails when people would comment, and now I don't anymore. So I haven't even tried to tackle that beast. I can barely do what I do now. So that is why I don't respond, is because I don't see them unless I specifically go on and look. So I definitely apologize for that. Good evening, Anna. So that's the designer series paper, the Regency Park, that I'm going to be playing with tonight. And we are going to do kind of a one-sheet wonder. I know usually one-sheet wonders are more than like 3 or 4 cards. I cut this to be able to make 2 cards out of one sheet of the 6x6. So I'm going to walk through how to cut it as well. Okay, let's point you over and we can get crafting. And I did forget, I need my paper trimmer, and it's in the house. So I am probably going to have to I'm going to have to bring in my other paper trimmer. I'm so sorry. I usually keep one on my Facebook Live table, but since I was working on stuff in the house, I took it in the house and literally just hit me that I needed it for the live. So I'm going to have to bring in an older paper trimmer, but it still works. So here is the Regency Park Designer Series paper pack, and let me pull it out so I can show you guys. So it has all of the Balmy Blue, Mango Melody, Nighted Navy, Petal Pink, Shaded Spruce, and Sweet Sorbet. So these are all the colors that are in this Designer Series pack, and they are so bright and cheery and absolutely gorgeous. So you have more flowers on the one side and kind of more subtles on the opposite side. So I am more of a bright, cheery kind of person. So I am going to be using this side of the Designer Series paper, and one of the pieces I might flip over. So I'm going to start with, this is the one that I did my sample out of, and this is the one that I'm going to show you guys how to cut. So let me get this out of the way. I'm going to bring in the card information. So there is a few different layers to this piece. So we have our normal This is Night and Navy, and it is 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So we can go ahead and fold that, give it a good press, and we'll set that aside. And I have a piece of our basic white, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. This is just going to go on the inside so we can write our sentiment on it. And then I have 3 other pieces. So I have 2 pieces of basic whites. One of them measures 4 3/4 by 3.5, and the other one is 3 3/4 by 5. So those are the 2 for the basic whites. And then I have a piece of balmy blue. You can use whatever cardstock matches the designer series paper. This is just what I picked because it matched the designer series paper. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to peel all these little guys off just so I don't accidentally glue them together, and set these aside, and we're going to start working on the 6 by 6. So I have my little sticky note, and I'll bring it in a second. And please don't laugh at my trimmer. I usually don't pull this one in for my Facebook Lives, but it is a very old Stampin' Up! Trimmer, but he is definitely my best friend. I usually use the other one for Facebook Lives, but it's in the house. So our first cut mark, we're going to slide your paper in so the 6 inches up at the top, and we are going to take off 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to come over here to the 3 3/4 inch mark, and I'm going to chop that off. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to rotate it so the 6 inch side is up at the top again, and I'm going to cut it at 4 3/4 again. So there we go. So now we have, I'm going to set we're going to use these 2 pieces, but I'm going to set them aside for a second. So now we have a 3/4 by 3/4 inch square. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut these at the 1 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to cut all of them at the 1 1/2 inch mark. And I know it's a little bit loud, sorry. I literally thought I was so prepared, and you always forget something. So now I have 3 strips that are 1 1/2 by 4 3/4. So now I'm just going to come in and I'm going to cut these guys at 2 inches. So we're not going to have much left over to use. So I'm going to set those 2 to the side. So if you cut your designer series paper just like I did, you will be able to get 2 cards out of 1 sheet. Cut that at 2. And then we're going to do 1 more cut. So these 2 pieces that we cut first, this one is 1 1/4. Should put it over here. It's 1 1/4 by 4 3/4. I just want to cut this one to 4 3/4. There we go. So that is all the trimming we're going to be doing, and these are the pieces you're left with. You're really not left with much. You could possibly do the kind of the same technique that I'm going to show you with these extra little pieces on maybe a note card. So you could definitely use all of these pieces if you wanted to. But these guys, I'm going to go ahead and just push to the side, because I want to bring in our smallest basic white piece. So you have 2. We're going to just bring in the smallest piece. And we are just going to layer this on top of our basic whites. And you're probably asking why I'm doing this. Because I am not the best at lining things up without a base underneath me. So this piece is pretty much the base underneath. And I don't even think I showed you guys the card we're making, have I? Well, I guess at this point we're just going to make it a surprise. So there is, this basic white is our base, so we're literally just going to glue this like that. I usually show you guys the card, and I'm a little discombobulated today. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. Internet problems are not the funnest. So I'm just going to grab some adhesive, find one that works. Oh, let's just grab some adhesive that I have up top. I don't want to fight with my glue today. So I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. The only bad thing is you have to get this right on the mark, otherwise you're not going to be able to get it off. That's why I like using the Tombow. So there's our bottom layer. I'm going to take this one and put some adhesive on the back. And I'm going to come up here and I'm going to tuck this all the way into the corner. So it's covering all of that white. Here we go. I'm going to take that one off, flip this one over, and I'm going to adhere this piece. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over here, tuck this all the way to the right. Got it? And then our last piece is going to go in the center. And I do the two sides for a reason. So now I can go in and I can center this in between these two pieces. There we go. So now I pretty much have 1/4 of an inch around all of my sides. So when I bring in our other piece of basic white, and when I map this, now I'm going to have the 1/4 of an inch on all of the sides plus the center. So that is the little method to my madness. And wouldn't you know, my tape just ended. Okay, I'm probably going to have to do a tiny bit of surgery on this guy, because I can't do a lot without adhesive. So if you just keep a safety pin or a straight pin next to your station and it gets a little booger in the end of it, you can push that through and it should take out the clog. Oh, yep, there, it took out the clog all right. We're gonna see if that's gonna seep through. Hopefully it won't. I would have smushed it around with my finger, but I didn't want to get adhesive all over my finger. So I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to start at the corner and I'm going to push it down so I don't get glue all over the place. Only on the live, right? There we go. That card is not going anywhere. I can promise you that. So now we're going to just go ahead and glue this down to our other border. There we go. Oh, let's glue our inside in. Good evening, Bev. Good evening, Stephanie. I'll go ahead and slide this on the inside so I don't forget. Close that, and this can go on the outside. And I will bring in the original card as well, I promise. Okay, so there is our card, and let me bring in, I actually didn't even show you the stamp set we're using either. So this is a set that is retiring. It does have a punch that coordinates with it, but I love this happy birthday. And I love that it fits in our double oval punch. So that's why I chose to use that happy birthday. And I did bring in my Night and Navy ink. Thanks, Bev. It is super cute and way easy to do. And that's what I love about it. So I'm going to stamp the happy birthday. And I'm going to punch it out with my oval. There we go. Set that down because I brought in my Night and Navy. So I'm going to punch a Night and Navy, but then I'm going to punch a Balmy Blue because I'm not entirely sure what color I want to go underneath this. So I love that we have options because there's so many different colors in this pack. We could actually even do the Mango Melody as well if you wanted to. So here is the Night and Navy, which looks very pretty. Let's see what the Balmy Blue looks like. Oh yeah, I think it's going to be Balmy Blue. I'm glad I actually brought both of those in. because I did not pre-make this one, so I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do. So I'm going to put the happy birthday on, flip that over, grab some dimensionals. It always does that on me. It moves around. There we go. So I'm going to set that. Actually, that part's kind of lifting up a tiny bit, so I'm going to put the happy birthday over here. We're going to cover that up. And then these gems are retiring. I actually use them in class, and I honestly don't think this is Balmy Blue, but we're going to pretend that it is because it's kind of close. I would say it was close enough. So I want to come in and put a couple little gems. Oh, come on. Quit being stubborn. There we go. There's that. I'm just going to use this. I am just a hot mess today. I don't know where my little clipper tool is. I swear I didn't take it off of my Facebook Live table. Scissors it is. I think my putty must be dried out. So there you go. That is your guys' card. So let me bring in the original one that I did. We are going to make, I have two more to make. So this was the original one that I forgot to show you guys in the beginning, and I didn't forget, and I put the white on the inside, and this one's the Night and Navy and Balmy Blue. So let's bring in the Sweet Sorbet. I am so glad Sweet Sorbet is staying around a little bit longer. It's so pretty. Let's put the white on the inside. My glue is picking everything up but what it's supposed to. Yes, Marie, I can definitely cut the paper again for you. Just give me a couple seconds. Let me get this one together. That, or if I forget, you can definitely re-watch the Facebook Live, and that will tell you how I did it as well. So this one, I cut the other designer series paper on it. And we're just going to lay these. And you could mix and match them a little bit. So you could put some of the other colors together if you wanted to. Possibilities are endless, and it looks like I accidentally cut that little piece too short, but we're still going to go with it. Maybe I'll scoot it all the way over. So that's actually, I meant to mess up. I'm going to scoot this all the way over, and we're going to put the sentiment at the bottom so nobody will ever know. There's never a mistake when you're crafting. It's a happy accident. There we go. This is the Regency Park paper. It's in the annual, or it's in the mini catalog. I'm not entirely sure what page it's on, but it is so pretty. I'll bring in the paper pack as well. So this last piece, and we actually will probably do this one vertical so I can put the sentiment at the bottom corner. There we go. Then let's bring this piece back in. Line this up. And then there's a few different matting on this one. And I just did it so I had a base where I could glue all my pieces to. I'm not the biggest fan of freehanding, making sure everything's even. So let's bring our card in. And I think I'm going to do it this way and put the sentiment down here at the bottom so it covers up my happy accidents. So really, this card can go any direction you want it to go. So there's that. And then let me clean off my stamp set because I want to do another happy birthday. Make sure it's dry. And then let me bring in paper, and I did bring in this sweet sorbet. So I'm going to ink up. And I'm just going to stamp this. Here we go. Perfect. And I think I might pretend that I put that down because I didn't bring over a sweet sorbet piece, which I could cut it out of the cardstock, but that would just defeat the purpose. So we're going to pretend that that one is completely done, but I am going to go ahead and put the rhinestones on it. When I think I am all set and ready and prepared, then reality hits. And Bo took Lucas home, so I had plenty of time to come out, and I thought I did, but apparently not. I should just wheel out my little carrier out here when I'm doing my live, so I'd have it right at my fingertips. Okay, so there you go. That is your super, oh, let me cut another one for you. Let me scoot these over. Let me bring in, I might pull in a different designer series paper. Let's see. Oh, let's do this one. So I definitely don't mind making more of these cards because they are super easy. Okay, so you're going to slide in, if you're just logging on, excuse my trimmer, my other one is in the house. So you're going to have your 6x6 piece up at the top. We're going to come in and we're going to cut this at 4 3/4. And then we're going to rotate. So our 6 inches is up at the top again. And we're going to cut this at 4 3/4. And then now we're going to have a 4 3/4 inch square. We're going to come in and cut it at 1.5. So we're going to cut all these pieces at 1.5. So 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. So we have 3 pieces now. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut them at the 2-inch mark. There's 2. Now, usually what I do, since I'm cutting the 2 inches, I'll just put it at the 4-inch mark, chop off the end, and then bring it down to 2, like that. But I don't want to confuse you guys too much. So just slide it in, cut it at 2, and then cut this at 2. Then we have one more cut mark to do, and that is this long piece. We need to cut that down to 4 3/4. So that is your cutting measurements. You can definitely watch this as many times as need be to make sure you have it down, but I tried to make it, oh, that is absolutely gorgeous. I did try to make it where we didn't have like the 5/8 and the 9/16, just enough to irritate you. So we'll do this one up top. So that is the little design that I came up with tonight for your live. Hopefully all of that is in the camera and you can see it. So let me bring in the cards. So there is our Night and Navy and Balmy Blue. This one is our Sweet Sorbet and Petal Pink. And then this one that I have to be super gentle with is the same Sweet Sorbet and Petal Pink. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully you will be putting this on your retreat to-do list to make some of these guys. So thank you so much for joining. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. If you need any of these products, once things are gone, they will be gone forever. I mean, you might be able to find something here and there that has been gone from Stampin' Up, but it's kind of hard sometimes and a little exhausting. So if you see anything that is on the clearance rack, it is on the last chance list, definitely get it while you can, because once it's gone, it is gone. But I can totally help you with that, so just reach out if you need anything. If not, I will see everybody on Thursday for another live. Chat with you soon. Bye-bye.